Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris, and I'm under the weather. I've taken a couple of days off after the craziness of the Triple Crown races. Still getting adjusted to life back in the UK after my move, and hopefully my wife will be able to join me soon. There's a whole process to that. It's already been 2 months, and it'll be a little while longer yet. So we're dealing with that and stress, and then just illness on top of everything. So I don't have my full recording setup, which I know the recording quality hasn't been kind of where I want it. Hopefully that'll improve over the coming months. Um, can't really do too much about it now. And yeah, been ill for the last couple of weeks, so it's really settled on my chest and my throat right now. So a bit of a struggle to record, but I kind of want to keep momentum going while I can. So that's why we are back here today. Even though I might sound a little off, you should be able to hear in my voice. And we're not going to go for too long today if we can help it. We're going to make sure we're starting to come under that 35-40 minute mark that I want to make these videos instead of the hour plus epics that we've been doing, to be honest with you. I think that's a little too much. So, with all that being said, I have some races booked today for 2-year-olds mainly. I've got Cadenia Terry a race as well. And then the rest of them, I mean, they weren't really races for Tero Pistol and Zaynat Morton and the other 3-year-olds. Not really right now. Um, Krabbies will be able to race, but I was just kind of waiting to see what really pops up that feels good, like the Queen's Plate, maybe. It's been 11 days, that's another 10 days, that's probably long enough. And then we got the Belmont here, so that's another 2 weeks after. So we can start like throwing bits and pieces in for Krabbies as we book, but I just wanted to make sure that we had, excuse me, I just wanted to make sure that we had these horses all set up for right now. And yeah, there's a lot of these at Ascot because it's that time of year at this distance where, you know, that's just the races we have available for the 2-year-olds. So let's go ahead and get here for the 6 furlong Coventry. It's a race that we've won previously, and I like 5e Modern, so I think this could be a pretty good race for them. Again, I'm not fully sure. I think it's certainly one that could go many different ways. Mainly depending on the field, to be fair. Mainly depending on the field. And just by the jockeys, I mean, we don't have our jockey on it right now. We have Kent. And Frankie is my favourite jockey of all time in the real world. So I'm expecting Acostathan to be a main issue here. So, like, that light blue teal silks with the yellow helmet is probably going to be the main rival in this one. So 6 furlong Coventry, grade 2 race for 2-year-olds. And we're going to flip the camera and zoom out a little bit. Looks like Velour Source decided not to run. Okay, that's fine. So we're here now, we're out of the chute. We're coming onto the main straight, and here comes Acosta Van right with us, and we're just going to push out. Spartacus Elite right there. Acosta Van now starting to pull clear into second place, but we're half a furlong from home now, just about. And unless we just die here, which we're not going to do, it's a big, big win for 5e Modern and Acosta Van. The Dettori horse is there in second place, kind of as expected. So, yeah, Velour Source refused to race, didn't come out the gates. But we did quite well, I think, though. I think we did quite well. That's a big win over a maybe not great field, but also it is a foreign race, and those are always going to be interesting. Let's say those are always going to be very, very interesting. And so that's race one done with a big win for 5 more. That's a grade 2 win, 106 rated. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, I don't know if we will gain distance, but we might. Um, and again, it's a very similar horse in my mind to Krabby's, where as a 3-year-old we might have 85 to 90 potential, hopefully filled out by the time we get to the Derby. A decent extra speed rating and a full finish. So you never know. We could be looking at a future Derby horse. I would hope so. I do like this horse a lot. I do worry about distance, and you never know kind of how horses are going to turn around and sort of what they're going to be able to do. But again, Terrible Pistol, Zaynab Morton, they're all kind of in that same range, although Zaynab Morton has gained distance to a mile, and breeding indicators mile one, so possibly one of the better 2-year-olds if we're looking at it in that way. Sunets Velta, probably a 7 furlong horse we're trying at a mile. Um, no confidence in that horse, but again could still do something. Turgeman Apprentice, a mile, everything looks okay. Little low on potential. And Fistful Vindication, again, a short order horse, but some nice bars elsewhere. And who knows how they might end up. So, yeah, this is really testing the 2-year-olds. Plenty of races really designed just to see how good they are. We're going back to Ascot for the 5 furlong Norfolk. And we're right there at the beginning. So, yeah, Fistful Vindication has only won the maiden and the grade 3 that they've been in. Only ever their third race. And I'm excited to see it. So, short field, only 5 horses were out quite well towards the lead. We've got the stablemates of Tican and Boltron and Class Bell with Shredding Rover and Wind Jam ahead against the on the outside here. And there goes Shredding Rover. There goes Fistful Vindication. Okay, I do like to bring it out of acceleration at about 2 to 1.5. They went at 2. I was a bit scared. And then at 1.5 we went, and yeah, that was scarily quick. That was scarily quick. Again, we're in Ascot. It's interesting. It didn't feel like that was a slow horse. I never know how to rank these races and kind of like rate these horses that we're up against. But that's a grade 2 with 8.5 lengths. That is just mental. Oh my god, the Juvenile Cup sprint's gonna be nuts. Oh, we're gonna have like 5 horses that could possibly do something over 5 and 6 furlongs. Wow, that's gonna be that's gonna be really interesting to think about. That is gonna be really interesting to think about. Back to Ascot. It's time for a 3-year-old. Cadenia Terry, one of my favourite 3-year-olds that we have. That was my favourite 2-year-old. Was probably my second favourite. Sorry, my favourite year-old. Um, Probably my favourite, second favourite 2-year-old, and then kind of fell behind Krabby's as my favourite 3-year-olds for obvious reasons. But we're here now trying to get a grade 1 in the Commonwealth Cup. And so it's a decent field, couple of grade 1 winners. Don't really know how that's going to affect things. Stand side. So Um, so I'm trying to think which way round are we racing. Which way round are we racing? We're racing clockwise, right? So stand sides would be the outside, I think. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we let it run, but I think it would be outside. That's where the better ground is. That maybe if we like good ground, that's where we would go to. So it might be a little mistake, perhaps not to do that. Oh, we're coming up the hill. To begin with, looks like Scented Gulch and Fencing Marquee up at the front with us. Hog approach, Liz Golden, Bassett Woods, and Eason himself at the rear. 2.5 coming up now to 2 furlongs. Let's see now who wants to make their move over the next sort of half a furlong to a furlong. Nobody really is. Fencing Marquee coming with us. Scented Gulch dropping off, and Hong approach really pushing on now up into third. It looks like Fencing Marquee might be here with us. They got the slightly better ground, remember, on that stand side, and it's just gonna be enough to hold them in first place, and that maybe where we should have pushed up. We get a dead heat. We do get a dead heat. Got a Japanese horse, a Canadian horse, and a bunch of Americans running in the Commonwealth Cup. So we technically get the win. I don't think we deserve it. I don't think that really we did dead heat, but we do get a grade 1 um, against what probably is a very, very good horse, to be fair. This is probably a very, very good horse. So I don't mind that. I just think that if we hadn't gone stand side a little bit, maybe we would have been okay. It was a soft track, and the best going. Yeah, maybe actually running the way we did suited us because we don't like a good track. I don't know. There's definitely these things to kind of think about along the way. So, nothing at auction. And yeah, Cadenia Terry. I booked in 2 because I didn't know which one I was going to race. And then I forgot about it, so it's still booked in for the 2. So I'm going to take that one out. Krabby's going to run today. I think that makes sense. I did manage to get all the horses breeded, even the ones that had basically their ratings in here. Um, so I was able to do that and get everybody bred. There's a ton of Ingleby Stars, a couple of Cubisms, a couple of Kikos and Eve's Erics. I know they're good horses. And then there's just a few other, you know, tests really that I want to see what they're like. So we're starting to breed for distance as well as quality. So I'm happy with that. We've got our 2 sort of 4-year-olds. There'll be 5-year-old next year in the breeding barn. Sadly, I don't know how much breeding we're going to get from them because we've got an absolutely fantastic horse right now. And we do have the 5 yearlings that we can take a look at in a little bit. But Krabby's is here. And Krabby's is getting ready to run at Woodbine. So this is the Queen's Plate Mile 2. Last race of the day at Woodbine. And yeah, again, we're high rated. Bunch of grade 1 winners. We've won a ton. We like this distance. I think that we should win. Alfora next might be the one to worry about a little bit just because of their high rating. They've won a grade 1. They're in decent form and they're at home in Canada. We are the invading Americans. So we will see. They are second favourites behind us. So let's just go in and see, can Crabbies keep this run going? The Queen's Plate. The blue purple silks right next to us there. Alforus, the dark horse. We are side by side. Towards the rear, the front four, Maple Inspiration, Creamer Bell, Fencing Marquis, and Beachdale Camilla up at the front. We are right in there then, alongside Alflora next. So we will see as we come down the back stretch, getting ready to make the turn. We're in decent place. The front four now coalesce. We're there on our own in the middle. We won't be for long, I do not feel. It looks like some people are making their break on the turn. As we come now off the turn into the home stretch, it's four abreast and we are flying. It doesn't look like Alflora Next is doing too much at the moment. Half a furlong from home. We are clear. We are pushing. But here comes Wannabe Shields. Just not enough at the end. We do take it. I don't think it's an amazing run from us. But the challenge didn't come from what I thought it would. And we end up just pushing out and getting the job done. Oh dear me. Not well today. So, yeah, it's nice to get a nice win there, though. That is good. We do have that booked on the 11th. We've got a bunch of the races I've, like, pushed in. Tentative schedule for Crabbies. So I don't know how much of that I want to run, to be fair. I don't know. I might go for this trio. A large build and two laid back. Two at distance. Maybe drop 1.6 mil or something on them. Because I pretty much know how much these horses are going to go. They're all going to go about the same price. 5-3 something. Let's take a look then. Laid back, solid. Okay, over a mile. Not a million miles away. Not what we need. Not what we're looking for, but decent. Large build. Always like a large build, but they never really work out for me. But I keep trying. Keep looking, just in case. And then Pleasant Town. So I think this is just another basic graded race. So let's see where we are. There we are. So grade 3. Over a mile for Turgeman. Again, don't know much about the field. Not really sure. We are top weight. This is going to be the big question for me. We're a little bit heavier than the rest because we've won a grade 3 already. So we'll see. And there's no rails here. Okay. Probably a graphical glitch then. Might have to go in and export the course again to fix problems like this. I don't see it as much of a problem. I just imagine there's like wires there that are kind of like invisible unless you're really close. So the horses aren't going to go to them, but yeah. Looks like we're coming up ready for the 2 furlong marker. We made good progress here. Pulbrook was still at the front. We're alongside Daymoon Life. So Magic Vice now starting to fall away. Little Mossa Hestia up from the rear. Notch Tartady and Idealist Vile right at the back as we start pushing clear, pushing free. It looks like Daymoon Life is going to come up and really push for this. We're just going to have enough to fight them off. There we go. Solid little win. The other favourite came right up with us. The other one had won. Uh, you know, I think they had a third, second, first in terms of their form, 86 rating. So pretty good. But we look to have that fairly comfortably for a lot of that race, and I like that a lot. And if we look now, 92 rated, gaining some more potential, doesn't look too bad. Fist of Vindication is 107 rated. We've gained a little bit here. A 5e, 106 rating with a bit more to go. We're getting there with our 2-year-olds. We really are sort of giving ourselves a few chances at, who gets distance. So we got like a mile, a 6 furlong, a mile, and a mile. So Terrible Pistol is a 6 furlong. These 4 2-year-olds are already a mile. That gives us a shot. That does give us a chance. There's a mile there as well at Snad Svelta. So it's kind of where Krabby's was. Probably a more difficult decision next season as to who to run, especially if it is a better field. Especially if the Belmont actually has a distance horse of quality and not just two normal sort of quality that run in a mile 4, and then the field is really all running off distance, like I think we had this year. So an easier Triple Crown to win for Krabby, still an achievement, still massive, but probably not the best competition. I do expect that to get more, um, a little more competitive, a little more difficult, a little more challenging as time moves on. So into Los Alamos, and again, just getting these 2-year-olds as many little graded races. Chances to move up to grade 2 if we can. If not, find another grade 3. Just keep them running, keep them going. I think that's the key for me, because yeah, we just need to keep them gaining potential, and at the same time making sure that we're getting that rating up, so when it does come to those full feature races, we are going to be included. So okay, solid field. Looks like Menacing Terribles there with a good rating, again, good form. They will be favourite with a touch overweight in this one as well. So the 2 grade 3s I'm running, we are slightly more weighted, but that's okay. So the Green Silk's the one to possibly watch, but we're out quite well there at the beginning. Green Silk's here with a black torso. That is Benson Terrible towards the rear of the field. We're there with Passionate Firefly. Reg's band just in front of us. Valda Shivers, Nobby's Allwin, Sacred Chic, Zazari, Gravity. And you can see now horses making their way in and amongst things. We are up at the front though. Here comes Dazari, or Darazari with us into the final furlong. They're going to push out. They're going to go for this. Do we have anything left now over the last half a furlong? I don't think so. I think that little bit of extra weight has kind of has come in there. Race keenly, well placed, disputed, no extra. Little interesting. Okay, are we a 7 furlong? Maybe better over a slightly shorter trip. We are indeed a 7 furlong. We're learning. We are learning about these horses. So, yeah, we've hit the potential. We look okay. We've done what we want to do. Breeding says 7. That run says 7. Not got an issue. 100 rated, grade 3, full potential. We've done everything we could with Snad Svelta. So, I am happy with that. Still got 4 weeks on Terrible Pistol, so they might make a jump. They might just not be able to because they can't race. I do not know right now. Let's go to a Friday auction. Absolutely nothing again. What do we got? 2-year-olds on the 17th, breeders on the 24th. I would like some extra breeding horses. I really, really would. this point, I would like extra breeding horses. So, yeah, the Belmont Derby Invitational, 12 runners. Let's go to Belmont, where we were crowned the Triple Crown Champion. Let us see if we can repeat that once again. High rated, on weight, one of only 3 Grade 1 winners, including Balti's Bird, who we know very, very well. And we know we can beat these horses, so it's just a matter of showing up and doing it again. Should have probably checked the headland feedback before fully getting into this one. Zoom in a little bit, and we're off, and not too bad of a start there on the inside. Say 12 runners, a bit of a large field. We're going to jump back a little bit there. We got Pildutsky drumming right ahead of us with Motley Jamil. We know those horses. Synchronized Knot, Leap Story behind Cass Banker, and Slow Snap with Dow's Home right in front. Morning Classic, Countdown Countdown of a prize account, and Balti's Bird right at the rear of this field. We start to make our way up into traffic, this chasing pack. Can we find a way through? We certainly can. Round the turn, two from home, coming now onto the home stretch, and we are going to go. The Hip Story going to go. There's runners from deep that probably don't have the pace. Pildutsky drumming is coming as well. Looks like they might get up into second place, but Krabby's is pushing. Krabby's is flying. Nobody else has a chance. It's easy. The hand is in the air once again at Belmont Park. And we take a comfortable win in this race. We're stacking the Grade 1s. We're trying to stack the rating. We are trying to make this horse just as superb as possible. As I did briefly discuss as well in the comment section, I think the plan with Krabby's is to race as a 4-year-old, but keep putting them in the breeding barn. So, like the first week or two, we'll just be breeding to 2 of our horses. Like, get that done early, and then the plan would be to bring them out for a race. Yeah, we'll target like 5 or 6 races or more, depending what the schedule looks like, that we really want them to run in, and just keep trying to win and keep trying to improve. So that'll be kind of the plan. When they've done that race, immediately afterwards, they'll be put into the breeding barn, breed with the next one in our list, and just keep going and going and going. That's kind of the plan at the moment for a 4-year-old season, maybe even a 5-year-old season. If we don't breed with everybody, they breed with half the horses or a third of the horses, and race at 4, 5, 6 maybe. I haven't fully worked that much out yet, but yeah. Okay, we're close to over racing. That's fine. I mean, we got a bunch of races here I'd like to run. That could be interesting. That could be really interesting. The World Cup turf, and then the Breeders' Cup turf, of course. Yeah, I don't know about the distance there. I really don't know about the distance of that one. But that could be something that we look at. It could be something we look at. So we got some decent races coming up for it. We'll see if we get there. If we do run them all, we'll be 12 Group 1 wins as a 3-year-old, which would be our record. Of course, that would be our record. We got 7 on Accumulus Revenge there, who ended up going up to 9. So it depends. We are close to maybe over racing. That is something to keep an eye on. But Cadenia does win the Grade 3, still only a short order horse. Interested to see what her and Krabby's might breed there. Might get a nice little miler or something. Bygones, again, a little bit more of a distance, not quite as good a horse, but we will be trying to find her and Bedouin Laugh races because, you know, they haven't got up yet this season. Everyone else has had at least one race. They haven't had any. Get Country Firm another race as well. So we're going to try and up these grades if we can. And if we can't, I don't know. I don't know. Again, with these male horses, with the colts and the stallions, I don't know if it's worth putting them in the breeding barn when we've got like a monster to breed from already. We got two in there that we're not really breeding from right now. We got Krabbies is going to be breeding on and off over the next year or two. I don't know if there's much reason to breed Bedouin and Bowbring at all. Like I'm not sure. I'd like your comments on that. Like, how would you like to handle that breeding? Is it going to be more like specifically breeding for traits, for bars, for you know ground preferences, for dispositions, for distances, like, or how would you set it up? What do you think we should do? Because at the moment I'm just like crabbies with everybody. If I can get something that has good cruising burst and confidence, enthusiasm, and like maybe even a touch more extra speed without sacrificing potential, really. I mean, something with a little bit of distance adaptability, like over the next two generations of breeding, just adding in like 10% to confidence, cruising burst, extra speed, enthusiasm, and like 20 to 30 on distance adaptability. Like, then we'd have an absolute monster. And I know that's kind of possible. That's the kind of range we might be looking at. So, yeah, interested to see kind of what you think of that. So let me know in the comment section down below. Like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. You know the deal. The more comments that we get, which I try to reply to every comment, like, those will push us in the algorithm. Every like, the more watch time, the number of views, all that sort of stuff gets it recommended to other places and helps the community grow. And that's kind of what I'm really interested in is building the Starters Orders community up on YouTube once again. I know we did for a while. We had a little Discord going that's still going. I'm no longer a part of it because life got in the way. But yeah, I think those things like really key to just get more people interested in the game, more people having fun, more people enjoying this content. So I really would appreciate it if y'all could jump in on that as well. So yeah, excited to see what we can do. I think this is a miler. Kind of want to book a couple of races here before we log off. I think we're starting to get into a good time. Oh, damn, I didn't see the zero. Yeah, so there's nothing at a mile or 7 furlongs for male or female 2-year-olds. So we can kind of ignore those. Horse is fit and ready to race. It's another 6 furlong. It's the only 6 furlong we've got, right? Everybody else is a 3-year-old. Is just you're on mile 4. You're on mile 2. You're on mile 2. Mile 2. Mile 2. Mile 2. Mile 2. So really, I don't have to share these races. So that the Bing Crosby can be Cadenia Terra. We can really test her at 1. And then this one might be a bit too much. That's a 300,000 race. And that's a 3,500. Okay, so this field is good. It's a solid field. But we would be so low weight. That would be really fun to run. And that's Yeah, maybe a bit more congested in that one, so that's fine. Mile 4. What do you actually won at a mile? See, we have never tested at more than a mile. Ascot with top rated horses, 125 plus. I mean, asking for an absolute battering there, really. And then the breeders, it had some much better 2-year-old. Sorry, much better field to run, much better ratings. And then we got a mile 2. Nijinsky, Arlington Million, the Pacific Classic. That could be decent. Um, let's put Country Firm in the Pacific. Let's put Bobring 4th in the Arlington. Let's give Bedouin a little step up to grade 2, not all the way to grade 1. Let's go for the Nijinsky, which will be a very tough field, unfortunately. But no grade 1 winning horses in it. So I think that's a good thing. Okay, not really fussed with those. We've got the Juddmonte on the 18th. A game day decision for that one. Really a game day decision for all these races from here on out. Like, I don't hate it. It's a high rating. Will be the favorite. Will be the lowest weight. As long as the head lad kind of thinks that we can do that, I'll be tempted to keep racing. 100%. I don't like anything in the sales. And then the 2-year-old sales, we got Hello Bud. I hate these claiming races. I hate them. Maybe we just go for the 2 unraced. Let's go to the 5-3. Don't even need to go that high. And we'll see. We'll see what Campanologist Midas. What a name. See what they look like. So we got a short distance horse in Patriot Hardy for cheap. I think we're at like 9. Is it 10? Is that 9? Okay. We just go straight to the 2.3 and change. Roam that number out a bit because I just fancy like doing it. Yeah, this doesn't look like much, and see, not bad bars, just no potential. If you haven't got a breeding program set up, it's not a bad one to start with. You find a nice mare to go with, especially like a grade 1 winner in a Friday auction um, or a breeding auction, and like you can breed this horse with them and get somewhere. We're just more advanced on that. Looks like this is okay. 2-year-old just over a mile, decent enough bars, poor start. And again, exactly the same. Could breed from it. We just have better. So we're not going to. I think it's really interesting that Crowley still has that indicator showing that we shouldn't be racing. So yeah, that game day decision is probably going to be an easy decision for me to make. Probably not going to go for that, but Yeah, I think we're in a good place this season. 22 winners from 40 runners for nearly 7 million. We're up to 30 million in our career. We're probably still at a deficit for the amount of horses I've bought, but the horses I've seriously bought, I would probably put at around the 15 million mark. Everything here, I would say, is another 5 million. The breeding is probably another 10 million or so. So that puts us up to around the 30 million mark there. And then just everyday costs and everyday, all the race entry fees and that kind of stuff, I think is what we have left to earn. So that's why I don't really worry about that. I figure out am I in profit or not when I can figure out where we're actually to. So yeah, not too bad. Quick look at the breeding barn then. So I look during the season and I try to think, at the end of the season, do I think this horse is going to be here next year or not? Is there a reason to continue breeding? So Craig Rose, very solid. Still looks okay. You know, 6-year-old hasn't dropped off too badly. I do think if it's got a low ability but high potential, that does pass over to the kids sometimes. So you do have a foal that is low ability, high potential. Whereas the closer they are to their potential, I do think that helps in terms of having a foal, a yearling, a 2-year-old that is already closer to their potential. So I don't mind that at all. I still think looks like a good horse. Doesn't look amazing. Does look okay. And we've bred a few things from her already. Or other people have bred things from her. So an excitable horse. Probably not going to do anything. Uh, very almost 2 grade 2 wins and a grade 3 win on Dow's Home. And Leb's Story is a grade 3, grade 2 winner. Could have won another day. Got up here. We didn't really realize that this was one of our breeders' foals. But Leb's Story, if we look at it, and we're not in this race, that's half a furlong back on Monaco Classic. That's very easily on another day, perhaps, a grade 1 win. So we can see the breeding from Craig Rose is pretty good. How much was that? Yeah, 2.5 million to bring Craig Rose in. I think that is a pretty good price to pay for us. Oh god, this is all weird. So Monshine, another 2.5 million, 2.25 million really. Um, no, I had no idea this was Bertarella's mom. Oh my god. But 6 years after falling Bertarella, I've got Bertarella on the transfer list. I've got Monshine in the breeding barn. And that's what leads us to Krabby's. Oh, I had no idea. Outstanding. Not only Bertarella, but we got Humor Me Rain here. A grade 1 win. Very close to winning more than that as well. Laid back. Mile to a mile 1. It's a good horse to breed from. If that comes up at an auction sometime, you best believe we're going in for Humor Me Renee as well. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Doesn't look like there's too much else out of that, but that's amazing. I had no idea. Um, but yeah, we're probably done with this horse. I think it could be a little jumps horse as well. We're probably done with this one, sadly, but it is what it is. Ancient Secret looks like has a ton of distance. to go as well. So that'll be nice to breed into some short horse. And yeah, pretty good stats again. This might be one we could breed with crabbies, and like I say, keep that keep that cruising burst high, get some enthusiasm, consistency, maybe get distance in without dropping off in potential. This might be a decent horse to pair with. We'll keep Ancient Secret going. River Breeze, very solid. Nothing special, but we'll keep breeding from it. This is where Snat Svelte comes from. And Raka Sonnet has a grade 2. Almost had another one. Could have had a grade 3. So we can see that, with what might be Grandad's Dream, another 2 million. Solid. And yeah, again, not too bad. Like low on the extra speed. Kind of get that, but good cruising burst and going adaptability and distance adaptability. So I kind of, that's why Grandad's is in there. Again, Moonshine, Grandad probably going to be out of the breeding barn next season. Hannah Park, this is where Cadenia Terry came from. And yeah, very, very nice. You can see where Terry gets, but we'll keep it in the breeding barn. We keep breeding from it. Ultimately, I think next year, the year after, we might look at getting rid of Hannah Park because Terry will be coming into the breeding barn. And so, yeah, that might just be a better option to put in. Politely said. Um, Again, solid short order horse. Don't know much about it. Like, no finish application. Bought it, liked some of the stuff. Just wanted to kind of see what we get from it. Because there's always a chance with finish application, to be fair. If you've got 0 and the horse you're breeding with has 100 or vice versa, it can really be any of the three. You can hit your low point and get 0, you can get your high point and get 100, or you can come in the middle somewhere at 50%. So I don't think it's the worst in the world, but again, probably going to get rid of, politely said. Officer Lily, one of my favourite horses we've had in this breeding barn. Zayanet and Bedouin's mom here. I like these horses as well. They just didn't make it. They looked okay. Looks like we've got a grade 2 as well. Another million. So really, a lot of these breeders I'm getting are like 1 million to 2.5 million. Um, that's kind of the range to find them. Very solid. 9-year-old. Doesn't look amazing. Potentially now, maybe falling off just a touch. Um, we'll see how they regress, but probably going to say goodbye to Officer Lily as well at the end of the season, I think. Chestnut Bird, just tons of stamina. This is a 2-miler, probably. And, yeah, in full Dweeves era. Lacks a finish application, but lots of cruising burst. And a lot of distance. So this is one I'm probably going to see what the 4 looks like. To be honest with you, I shouldn't be keeping this one here. It's another $1 million that we spent, but the fall of this one, if it picks up the cruising burst, and Eve's Era, it'll have a high potential, then I can kind of breed in some extra speed and finish application, maybe. So I'll really just see what this fall is like, and maybe judge whether or not to keep this horse around or not, be, due to that. But we are taking some chances. Ileana, one of the ones that was bugged for a while. The only horse so far that that we've bred from it wasn't really good. And yeah, just solid, very solid. We can keep breeding from them. Dazaki, short order horse. Haven't bred anything from it yet, but high potential, very solid again. Breed it to a distance horse, and we should be okay. That's the reason that Kikos is breeding with these two in particular as well, because I do believe he has a mile 4 to a mile 5. So breeding here puts us at around the 1-1-1-2, which is where we want to be for the Derby. Back to the Tour, the horse that we know a little bit about. Um, Cumulus Revenge, who ended up, of course, winning those 9 group wins. And Turgeman Apprentice, who, you know, is doing okay as a 2-year-old. So not bad. A bit shaky on the potential here. The extra speed I love. Maybe one more season. Maybe out of the breeding barn. I don't know. But it'll be close. Tawny Waters. We've got a yearling out of her. Looks pretty solid. Nothing special. But just solid everywhere. Oh. That's one I bred with Lucky Dip to Kikos. Yeah, this could be interesting because this has got Kikos' bloodline. Lucky Dip wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great, but wasn't bad. Um, I like Kikos a lot. Now we're breeding to Ingleby Star, which is another distance horse that I quite like. So that could be a very interesting bloodline. Villa de Sol, again, we know the offspring here is 5e Modern, who is having a good little run at the moment. After those green runs, we're basically undefeated. So, kind of like that. That's coming from Villa del Sol, who kind of looks very up and down. But lots of extra speed, okay, potentially, full finish. Who knows? Who knows? Again, this would be just see what that potential bar looks like next season. Maybe keep them around, maybe not. We will see. Jolly Lawn, again, another one with some looks like a bit of distance to them. Probably not a great horse. Yeah, not a full finish, which is interesting. But again, I'm not going to worry too much about that in my breeding mares, because we can very easily breed that up to a full bar quite quickly. It's just going to be a bit of random chance. So if the rest of the horse looks okay, 50% extra cruising burst, we lack extra speed and finish, but we do have a ton of cruising burst. We have decent potential. Only 3, possibly going to get better. That might be one that we keep around a little bit because it's got distance as well. And Island Memory is a short horse, so we're bringing back into our range. And then Paco Crescent, the new horse, with its ton of stamina. 2.5 to 3 mile, maybe. No potential. Tons of cruising burst. And I'm breeding this with a Cumulus Revenge. We know has a ton of potential. So this could end up a very solid horse to breed from in the future if we book it right. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. So, there you go. That's the breeding barn. Run a little bit longer than I wanted to because I wanted to go over that and give an update, my thoughts. Um, so, yeah, but I don't feel as bad now as when I did when I started recording. I think my voice got into a rhythm, so probably helped me out a little bit. But we are going to leave it there. Like I say, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this breeding barn. While I'm doing the outro, I'm just going to show you the yearlings as well. You can see the pairings where they've come from. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. Let me know what you think of these yearlings, of our 2-year-olds, the 3-year-olds, what's in the breeding barn, who we should get rid of, and like who we should keep. Um, because we're like I say, we're really focused on those big races, like the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont. Also things like the Tenor Show. Oh, excuse me. Also things like the Breeders' Cup, like the World Cup as well, the Pegasus World Cup. If you've got a shot at races like that, then why not? That's going to be a really good place for us to be. So, I'm interested to see what you kind of think of what we've got. Um, and just, yeah, where we're going to be, because I don't know. I don't know. And yeah, like I said, Craig Rose, just want to jump back on this one. We knew this wasn't maybe, we still breed from this, but this wasn't the best horse to breed from, not bad. And with Kikos, we've got something that's really pretty good. We just need some more potential and extra speed, maybe. But the distance adaptability and the cruising burst is phenomenal. And it does hit our minimums. 50 ability, it's got, what, 60? Just over 60, that's fine. 70 potential, it's got 75. 70 extra speed, it's got like 71 maybe. And a full finish. We haven't got crazy standards in that regard. But we know that those can win Triple Crown races or 10, 15, 20 Grade 1 races in their career. And it has all that, but it also has 60% cruising burst and 60% distance adaptability. Breeding says a mile 1. Craig Rose is a mile 1 that could run at a mile 2. Almost, was it definitely in the running at a mile 2. And Kikos, who ran and won at a mile 2 to a mile 4 and got very close at 2 miles. So, yeah, and this as well as those kind of stats, also picks up the mental stamina. And as a filly, again, that could be something we breed from for a long time. So, very, very interested in this one. Gwingle Poppets. Might rename it, but who knows. And then the last one, Full Start. We love to see that. Decent stats. Lacks a bit of extra speed. Um, I'm not sure. This one might not make it. I don't know. But yeah, those are those. So let me know what you guys think in general. And what other races should I be looking out for? What other races? Because I do think if we look at the diary and kind of go through things, you might be able to pause at certain dates. But like pick out some dates and some races to look at. Like the Pegasus World Cup at the end of January is definitely one I think we need to look at with Krabbies next year. So that'll be interesting. Get him into breed and then pull him up for the Pegasus. Um, but I'm pretty sure I've got the yeah. See, we got all these races as well. The Saudi Sprint. Probably going to be able to get someone in that. The Saudi Cup. Might even have a runner here in the Saudi Turf. To be fair, maybe. Wow, that's mental. That's absolutely mental because bygones can run crazy distances, right? So there's those, but I think we've got the flat Triple Crown for the UK and for Ireland and maybe for France in this. If I remember the way I set this schedule up, maybe I don't, and you can help me out with that because I'm not very familiar with those races as well. But you can kind of maybe look through the schedule and pause and pick things up. Like there's a lot of races in Triple Crown seasons where I'm going to be running the Triple Crown races. I don't really run the other races on those days. Maybe I'm missing out a couple of really fun options. But where do we want to prove our best horses? I'm looking at the sprint races, 5 and 6 furlongs. I'm then looking at the intermediates at about a mile, 7 furlongs to a mile 1, and then the solid proper races, a mile 2 to a mile 4, and any distance races in case we have distance horses, which we kind of do as well. So, be very interested to see your feedback on all that. Get your thoughts. And yeah, if you're playing as well, let me know about your games. Like, I do also want to do a little community spotlight. So if you are playing, by all means, please let me know about the game. And there'll probably be a time coming up soon. Oh, the Arc de Triomphe. That could be one. That'll be an interesting one. That could be an interesting one. Very interesting one. I forgot about the Arc de Triomphe. Yeah, races like this I'm thinking. But yeah, so yeah, let me know about your saves, and there'll be a community spotlight at some point where I'm gonna invite you to send me your saves, and I will load up your saves, and I will go through. I will judge your horses. I will see kind of how much you've won, what you've been able to actually run. Have you won Triple Crowns in different countries? Have you got an amazing breeding program? Are you just getting started, but you have one special horse you kind of would like an opinion on? Or you just want to show off what you've done so far? Like, whatever it be, I don't care. I kind of want to see it, and I kind of want to showcase that. And like I say, build that community back up here on YouTube. So let me know, like I say, all about your saves and what you guys think. But that'll do it for me. There's the schedule. Feel free to pause, look around it, and whatever, and give feedback on my horses. As always, like and subscribe for the algorithm. I hate saying it, but it's really the only thing that does help. This is free content. I don't make money off this in any way, shape, or form. I do it for the love of it. But, if you really want to help out, that like and subscribe right now would be massive. So there we are. That's the save. That's where we're up to. I think we're in a really, really good place. And, yeah, we're still only halfway through the season. So there's a lot of big races to go. And especially with Krabbies, like, close to over racing, but, like, we've got potentially 5 more in. I don't know if it's going to be worth pushing or if it's going to be worth just, like, picking one or two. Like, probably I'd probably go for the Irish champion, then the Tennis Show, and then the Breeders' Cup. And maybe that would be it out of the 5. But again, I'd like your input on that as well. I really don't know. But we got a monster horse, we got a good stable, we got a promising future, and we got a breeding program I think is right there ready to take off. Can we get monsters or not? I don't know. That might be a couple of generations away, but we are prime. So let me know about your game, and I'll see you back here next time for more from Hilltop Park here on SO7. Till then, take care, stay safe, behave, and all the best of luck in your Triple Crown journeys.